Hello everybody and welcome to the Soul Experience. I'm going to be doing a reading from now until, this is for Taurus, from now until, actually I'm doing the readings because I've already done the readings for February for a few signs. So I'm going to do the readings for February 2019. So if you want a private reading, check the description box down below. And if you want to book a ritual, because I am now offering rituals, I actually have done my second batch starts today. So the next batch started yesterday. Sorry, my second batch started yesterday, and so it goes Wednesday. Wait, what am I saying? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sundays I cleanse my energy, and then I start again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's how my rituals work. So if you want a ritual, the second batch starts on Monday. Now will be the time to offer. Um, I only accept 4 at a time per batch. That is. So yeah. Anyways, let's get started. Again, all that information is listed down in the description box. Let's get started with. This is for Taurus. Taurus. February 2019. Okay, your surface mind, you have the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles here as the first card out. So some of you are definitely 4 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. Some of you are definitely trying to, I'm getting partly healed from a heartbreak. I'm getting partly healed from a dissatisfying situation. And if it has to do with love, then it would have to do with, yeah, because under this is the card of Taurus, the King of Pentacles, and I have the 10 of Wands under that. So some of you are definitely trying to heal from a sort of a situation. I feel like some of you are just broken up recently, or going through a separation, or even if it's not to do with a romantic situation, it would be emotionally. You're trying to heal from a situation, even if it's not a romantic situation. I get that you're also very focused now on wellness, getting yourself back up. Some of you could even be investing a lot in, you're investing a lot of your time in maybe your studies, your work life, trying to get yourself, your energy balanced out, because you're trying to not think so much about. But the 9 of Pentacles is not to distract oneself. When you get a card like the 9 of Pentacles, then it's not that you're trying to distract yourself. It's more like, it is time for me to get back to myself, as opposed to like, I don't want to think about this, so I'm going to find things to distract myself with. This is how healing should be done. Let's see this. I hate that this thing goes to sleep like that. Let's see now your subconscious, your shadow for Taurus. Okay, we had the Tower just popped out, and we have the Justice in reverse. So something unfair has been done, especially those of you might be going through like a divorce. Something really unfair has been done to you. I'm getting the Judgment in reverse, the 7 of Cups. Some of you have gone through some kind of a cycle with someone, and the Tower to me is like a failed marriage. I always say that, the Tower, because the Tower is meant to stand up, is built to stand up, stand the test of time. So when I get cards like the Tower and the Justice, to me, and in reverse, to me, it's like something unfair was done in your marriage, or something unfair was done at the place you worked. Some of you might have been fired from a job recently, or are going to be, going into the future with February. So something unfair has been done, and it's what has caused you a lot of financial strain. I feel like you're also going to be in a state of a lot of confusion and a lot of anxiety. Some of you are coming out of it, some of you are going into it. But because this is the subconscious, I'll say you're going into it. And the reason I say that is because the shadow usually is my warning energy. The shadow warns me of things that are to come, because these are things that have not yet manifested in the physical realm, which will be where the surface mind will be thinking about it actively. Others of you, I'm getting that you're very focused on your finances right now. So maybe someone has done something, you could have gone through a divorce, and maybe there was a difficult settlement issue or hidden fees somewhere. I'm getting that there's a lot of stress and a lot of strain on you, Taurus, and you're really trying to rise above it. You're really trying to get yourself back together, get your shit back together, but it's like there's a weight on your shoulders that you're trying to get off as well. And it's causing, well, it has already caused you a lot of headache. You know, it's not even it's causing you, it has already caused you a lot of headache. But this connects to the external energy. We have the card of Libra here in reverse. So some of you could be doing a Libra that wasn't acting right. You might have been married to a Libra with the Tower here, and card of Libra in reverse, and the Judgment in reverse. It's like something didn't go in your favor. And I'm also seeing that perhaps they didn't make the right decision. Because we have the card of Pisces under this with the High Priestess. And that's the card, to me, I look at that as higher knowing, you know, following your intuition. Either you or the person you're dealing with wasn't following your intuition about something. This is your reading, so I'll say this is, I'll pull it from your perspective of maybe you weren't following your intuition. Maybe there were red signs all along, Taurus. Maybe there were red signs, maybe there were red flags all along, and you weren't paying attention to your intuition at the time. And, you know, for example, back in the day, a while ago, I used to do a lot of readings for Virgo that would say, you know, for like a few months, and I've talked about this quite a few times, but I always use it as my example, you know, and I used to say, you know, Virgo, you're going to get money stolen from you, Virgo, you're going to get money stolen from you, and sometimes it would show up to me as someone wasn't following their intuition. So it's one of those things that, let's say, for example, someone was trying to steal money from you, it might have been someone very close to you. Again, there were red flags all along. You know, the person wasn't exactly hiding it. I mean, they might have been hiding it, but not in a way that you couldn't see. But perhaps because of too much trust, too much, you know, whatever it is you want to put it, you know, too much of whatever that was, you were not intuitive enough, you were not cognizant enough to, within yourself, and you were not paying enough attention even to the outer, you know, sphere to notice that this is what was going on. And so now you end up with the shorter end of the stick, and you're like, what's going on? But all along, there were red flags and red signs, because I'm getting that there were red signs and red flags leading up to this situation. If it was that the person was cheating with the Three of Cups, again, there were red signs and red flags. Maybe you choose not to pay attention to the red flags, or maybe it's something that they've done several times, and you choose to keep giving them your heart or keep giving them your trust. So, you know, I'm not saying you deserve what you got, but I'm saying, you know, it's very important to pay attention to our intuition when it's speaking to us. The past, the Queen of Pentacles, this is you, Taurus, this is your nurturing, this is your nurturance. The Seven of Swords, yeah, the Seven of Swords, and the Three of Wands. This is you nurturing, and remember earlier I talked about the Seven of Swords, you know, someone stealing something. And, you know, the Seven of Swords to me is that card. I always say it to me, I was raised in the church, so I tend to use like biblical terms. The Seven of Swords to me will represent, you know, that passage in the Bible that says the thief comes at night to steal, kill, and destroy. You know, that would be what the Seven of Swords will represent to me. The thief comes at night to steal, kill, and destroy. So when I look at this card, this is manipulation, this is stealing, this is cheating, this is sneaky behavior. But again, I feel like, so this person was getting, they were getting it either way, you know, but I'm getting the sensation like you were playing, because the Queen of Pentacles is also the perfect wife, so you were playing the perfect wife. You were nurturing them. You were maybe nurturing their dreams. How can we get this? You were on the team. You were pushing for the team, but you were alone in that. Because this person was going out and doing their own thing with no consciousness, with no guilt, with no, oh my God, what am I doing? They were doing what they were doing. And again, that's perhaps why you feel so jilted with the Libra card, the Justice in reverse, and you feel like this kind of hit you out of nowhere with the Tower. But again, I always tell people the Tower is not something that just suddenly happens. The Tower is a build-up. The Tower, again, it's built up over time. So the Tower doesn't just suddenly happen. It might come across as if it suddenly happened, but the Tower builds up. And eventually, because the foundation is so weak, all the pressure makes it collapse. So it was a build-up. It was things happening that you were choosing not to see or choosing not to acknowledge or not taking seriously enough, and then finally it collapses and you're like, oh my God, how did this happen? It happened while you were paying attention. Or you weren't paying attention, but you were conscious of what was going on. And again, I feel like for some of you, this person has even done this before. It's not like it's a first time situation. It was something that they'd done before and you were choosing not to see. Others of you, it really wasn't. But again, it really wasn't that they had done it before. But the red flags were there and they were speaking loudly, and for whatever reason you just weren't paying attention to it. I guess you were choosing to live more in trust and faith, and I just did a talk about that like 2 days ago. So trust me, I get it. I really, really do get it. I really understand it. But there has to be a silver lining to certain things. I don't know if a silver lining is the right word, but there has to be a crossing there somehow. There has to be a place where the sun, enlightenment, there has to be a place there where the Ace of Swords, the truth. Well, that is that. Some of you could have been doing a Leo. I'm just going to throw that out there because of the Sun and the Queen of Wands that came up. Let's see. Yeah. Shocking. Don't be shocked, Taurus. Five of Pentacles, feeling left out in the cold. Ace of Wands. What does this Ace of Wands come to? The Seven of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. Ace of Wands, your new beginning here with the Ace of Wands. This is your new beginning. This is your new startup. Five of Pentacles, destitution. Some of you, this person did steal money. Others of you, you're just feeling it's an emotional thing. It's a spiritual thing. This emptiness you're feeling, it's more than just physical. Okay, I was clarifying. I was pulling for this, and we got the Hangman and the Hierophant. But you know what's funny? Because when the Hierophant fell, I'm the one that put it upright. The Hierophant, card of Cancer. You're finally Ten of Wands again. Remember earlier the Ten of Wands came out in one of these, what was it that came out with it? But it came out in one of the cards, the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, the burden. This is the marriage. This is the card of Taurus. And this is the Hierophant is the card of Taurus. The Hangman, card of Cancer. To finally see things for what they are. To finally see things for what they are. And to also finally acknowledge, because for some of you, you might not be seeing this, but the truth is, this is your chance at rebirth. This is your chance at newness. The Ace of Wands talks about a completely new beginning. It's a spiritual new beginning, even with, the Strength, yeah, and the Wheel of Fortune, yeah. Two major arcana. This is exactly what I was saying. The Strength, and maybe there goes that Leo again, maybe with a Leo. And the Wheel of Fortune, what you put in is what you get out, but the energy is shifting, the universe is working. But it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. This is a general reading, it's not gonna apply to everybody, but it's gonna be rough. The Strength means that you're gonna have to, like Melissa and Angelica always says, and I've taken it as my own now, where I see the strength, I know the devil was around. You know, that's conquering the demons of oneself. Also finding the courage within oneself, because this path you're embarking on it alone this time. And you have to figure out within yourself how to walk this path. Let's see, potential future. The Fool, the Chariot, and the Five of Cups. Acknowledgement, the Fool, the Chariot. Why the Five of Cups? I got closure when I looked at that card. I got closure. But I need to see something. The Nine of Swords, yeah. The Five of Swords. And the Ten of Cups. This is your anxiety, this is your pain, this is your fear. And, you know, this is... Now, I'm going to talk about closure for a short while. I'm going to talk about closure. And like I always say, closure is not something that the other person gives you. Closure is you finally looking at, because the Five of Cups, this person, I always say this is my acknowledgement card. This person is looking at the Two Cups, you know, in front of them. Usually the Five of Cups, the person has their back turned to the Two Cups, but in this deck, they're looking at their Two Cups. So this is about you acknowledging certain things to yourself about this relationship, because I feel like you won't be able to move on until you get the details. But I don't feel like this person is going to give you the details of what happened. You know, they're not going to come out right and say it. They're not going to, you know, they're not going to. So you're really going to have to sort this out yourself. You're going to have to figure this out yourself, because they're not going to be the ones to tell you, okay, this is why I did this, this is how this happened, you know. But it's asking also for you to have the Five of Cups closure. And it's telling you that you also need to admit to yourself, because your freedom with the Fool and the Chariot, they come in a way, the Fool and the Chariot, they come in a way where it's like, in order for you to have the freedom and the, you know, the freedom of mind, the freedom of space, it's gonna come in a way of you acknowledging something to yourself. And I'm feeling like with the Nine of Swords, there is you acknowledging something you really don't want to acknowledge to yourself. Perhaps that, yes, there were red flags. Perhaps that, yes, you did enable this person. Perhaps that you let them walk over you and you let them, you know. But maybe, perhaps that you didn't even follow your intuition, you know. But it's going to come in a way that you have to acknowledge, especially with the Hangman and the Taurus card there. I'm getting like a synchronicity here, you know. And the Ace of Wands now is starting to make a different, it's having a different meaning to me with the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, that's the Ace. That's again that enlightenment. The Ace of Wands is about enlightenment. The Sun is about enlightenment. You know, the Ace is a spark. You know, the Ace of Wands specifically, that's fire element. It's a spark. It's a light bulb moment. You know, but with the Five of Pentacles, it's like you weren't. I keep, and then I'm looking at the Hangman. And I think, remember earlier when he came out, he was kind of like in reverse, you know, even though he is in reverse. But he has the sun around his head, which talks about enlightenment, seeing things for what they are. But I'm getting, it's revolving, again, I keep getting this message that it's revolving around you not seeing something for what it is, you not acknowledging something for what it is, even though the cards were on the table, even though it was evident, you know, even if it might have been intuitive, you weren't acknowledging something for what it is. See, that's where I am a Virgo. As a Virgo, I can't really relate, because the truth of the matter is I am so nosy. I'm a Virgo Sun, Aries Moon. Like, I will be booking tarot readings. I'll be snooping around your apartment. See, that's where I can't really relate, because I am so extremely nosy. I would try to, if I feel like my intuition is telling me something very strongly, I would try to get at the bottom of it. If I don't get at the bottom of it, that's a different thing. But I would try to get at the bottom of it. I'm not one of those people that's gonna be like, oh, let's just see where it goes. In the best case scenario, no, I would want to know what's going on. And I feel like you weren't doing your work. But again, I'm getting that there were red signs, Taurus. There were red flags everywhere. There were slowdown breaks. Hit your brakes. There were signs, but no, you weren't giving them proper attention. But that would make sense because you are Taurus, and you would choose to ignore the things that are not working in the name of, because Taurus is that energy that will choose to ignore things that are not working simply in the name of, let's keep the family together. Let's keep the institution together because you are the Hierophant. You are about traditionalism. You are about, it's true, I might be sensing this, but, in the name of, me saying something and risking you walking away or anything of that sort. Let's do our part. Let me do my part and ignore my intuition just in the name of keeping the family together. That would be a Taurian energy. Let's see now one card from the Dora Virtue deck for Taurus that's pertaining to the situation. New love. Heart-to-heart conversation. Okay, one card for Taurus. Keep an open mind in reverse. How do I read that in reverse? Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual types and expectations. Keep an open mind. Pull one more card to clarify. I don't like reading my cards in reverse. Let go of control issue. This is so Taurus. So when I'm looking at the keep an open mind and let go of control issues, I'm thinking of this as release. Keep an open mind. Let go of control issues. Don't try to control this issue. Don't try to force this person. Allow the situation to unfold naturally is what it says in the card. Don't try to force someone to be there that doesn't want to be there, And this is what I was just talking about as Taurus being that energy that would try to ignore their intuition just in the name of keeping the family together, or they will let you to some degree even walk on them just in the name of trying to keep the marriage and keep the home, that kind of situation, and that kind of energy. So with the keep an open mind and the let go of control issues, to me it's a warning to you that this is not all that it is of life. And if this crumbles, then let it crumble, because honestly, this person, with the justice in reverse, with justice being a major arcana in reverse, and it's telling me, first of all, that they must have done something real fucked up because of the justice in reverse. They must have done something real fucked up, and on the second hand, they might also have pulled you away from your path, too greatly away from your path. And again, your freedom, I keep getting that your freedom is in acknowledging that you played a part in this. You give them maybe too much power. You weren't paying attention to your intuition, whatever it is, because this is a water, energy. This is water energy. Whatever it is, your freedom and your ability to let go. Because if you don't do that, then it would be the other person. I will blame the other person. They hurt me. They did this. And yes, they might have, and that's the truth. But a lot of times in life, we find that a lot of the situations we find ourselves in is due to our own letting, allowing of that energy to come to permeate our system, to permeate, a lot of situations. And I'm not saying that it's not that they didn't do anything wrong, and I'm not one of those people that's like blame the victim. But the truth of the matter is, when we strip out all those titles and we dry the tears, can we also acknowledge the fact that we play a part in so much of the things, of so many of the unfortunate events that happen in our lives? You know, I am a living testament of this. Actually, today, something really unfortunate just happened in my life, and I'm a living testament of it. And while I was like, but I was like, I kind of played a part in it, and I could acknowledge that to myself, you know. So this is acknowledgement. Don't fight for this, but keep an open mind. Keep your options open. Keep the possibility of you not living with this person or this person not being in your life open. Keep that possibility up. Because that's what I'm getting. Like, don't fight for it. Don't try to control the situation. That's a difficult thing to tell Taurus. The Hierophant, I mean, but that's what is coming up to me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I have to go now. I have to do a few other signs. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you want a private reading, check the description box. All the information is listed down below. Stay blessed, and I wish you the best. Have a good one. Bye-bye.